As always, the sight of the city grated on my nerves. Today, however, I don't feel as much hatred as I usually do. Growing more accustomed to my... I really want to see how far through I am. So what we do is we go... turn to title screen. This is how you check how far through us. I don't know where you are. Okay. About halfway through. Easy. My search of the old guy house is finally bore fruit. When I pulled all the drawers out of the desk and study, I found an envelope stuck between the desk and the wall. It was fallen off the back of the writing tray. Inside were 3 outdoor photographs. Couldn't recognize the scenery due to my condition, but I'm pretty sure they show 3 buildings. Scrawled on the back of each photo was an address: Nagano Prefecture M Village, Tochigi Prefecture S Town, Shizuko Prefecture H Town. None of the names is familiar, so they must be way out in the countryside. Photos are all dated more than 10 years ago. I don't know why they were taking on what they mean, but maybe Saya will be able to make some sense of them. In any case, it's something that even Saya missed while she was living in the house. What else she would react if I show her what I found? Saya went so bad to see her. The thought of her waiting for me speeds up my footsteps. When I step through the gate, I see the front door is wide open. This is the second time this has happened. Upon entering the house this time, however, the sound of Saya crying chills my blood. It's not just her, I also hear a low, wet grunting. There's no time to take off my shoes. I race down the hallway, propelled by a terrifying premonition. The monster is in my house, and it's raping Saya. The filth oozing from its body spreads further across her skin as it dries itself with animal ferocity in between her weak, trembling thighs. Almost forces its critiques penis deeper and deeper into her, its brutal thrust warping her vagina in clearly painful ways. Each time the beast moves, Saya's sobs become cries of agony. She looks back at me with tearful and weak, breathless voice. Fuminori, help. Rage erupts inside me like black lava. The monster stops gorging itself inside Saya's body and turns its head to look at me. Surprised by my own composure, I slip past it and grab the meat cleaver sitting next to the sink. Without a moment's hesitation, I slash at the monster's face. It screams and staggers away from Saya. My attack must have blinded it because it flails its tentacles wildly, as if it's trying to drive me away. My bloodlust and unsated, calmly seized one of the appendages and plunged my weapon twice more into its quivering flesh. The blade enters its body with fascinating ease. Each strike sprays my face with its blood. As I carve the monster to pieces and savor its hideous screams, my mind is finally consumed by rage. No mercy, I'll see this monster suffer for what it's done to Saya. I give myself to the fury, howling at the top of my lungs as I slash and slash and slash and slash. Even after the flesh piece stops moving, I keep slashing until I realize that I can no longer feel pain. I curse myself for killing it so quickly. Oh, I can no longer feel pain. I stab the cleaver into the floor, snapping it in half. When my thoughts finally regain some cohesion, I find myself still digging the broken knife into the floor. The monster is gone, but pieces of it are scattered everywhere. Stop cutting into the tile, and in the sudden silence, I hear Saya's face sobs coming from the corner of the kitchen. Saya. I pull the cowering Saya into my arms. She stiffens in fear at first, but as soon as she realizes that it's me, she clings to my body and cries. I don't know what to say, I can only keep holding her. It should never happen to Saya. Everything in this twisted world is blame, yes, including myself. I couldn't protect her. If I had been there, then maybe I could have prevented this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She says again and again in a choked voice of chest. Not wanting to hear that from her, I pull her head into my chest. Don't say that, Saya. It's not your fault. I try to reassure her. She shakes her head vigorously in denial. No, it is. I did it. Don't understand what she's saying. You did what? I messed with his brain, she answers, glancing at the dismembered monster with her swollen eyes. Made the inside of his head the same as yours. Made him see the world like you do. It takes me some time to understand the meaning of Saya's words. But... what? But how? Finally regaining her composure, Saya responds to my confusion in a low voice. I can do stuff like that. I can change the bodies of other living beings. Things. I've had this ability since I was born. Every organism is different, so I've studied them in detail before I know how to change them. By doing some research, I figured out what happened to your brain. So I wanted to see if I could do the same thing to someone else's. But why? I thought that if everyone were like you, they would all be kind to me. My heart aches at the loneliness in her voice as she confesses her sorrowfully. But that man, he wasn't kind at all. Said he wanted to hurt me, break me, and he... She starts crying into my chest again, unable to say anymore. I gently rub her back while trying to get my jumbled thoughts together. What is Saya? That she can do such a thing, the answer is beyond me. However, there's one thing that I can't answer here and now. Saya is mistaken. You think that I'm kind to you because of the accident? Yeah, she nods sadly. Smile and shake my head. You're wrong. That was only the beginning. Our relationship is the sum of so much more. Time you and I have spent together, those days and those experiences are what have made us what we are. You've been there for me, Saya, sharing my pain, giving me hope and joy. Saya's still crying. Tears feel warm against my chest. I understand. I finally understand. I only have you, Fuminori. There will never be anyone else. Now more than ever, I feel the depth of the bond between us. I'm sure that Saya feels it too. Saya responds, winding her arms around my neck as our tongue desperately seeks each other's warmth. At this moment, Saya is my whole world, and I am hers. The earth turns for us all. Of course, I still haven't told her something very important. I don't know why I've never said it before. Perhaps because it was always so obvious. However, I should put it into words at least once, this oath of mine. Saya, Wait. She stops me with a finger against my lips. Well, that, Fuminori, tell me one thing. What do you want? What do I want? Fuminori nods, Saya nods, staring into my eyes with unusual solemnity. Like I said, I can affect the bodies of living things in a way that no one else can. And now that I've learned how to manipulate human brains. Saya pauses and takes a deep breath before continuing. I can turn you back to normal. Nani? Until now, that hasn't even been in the realm of possibility. I just have to do the opposite of what I did to that man. It's really simple. I replay Saya's words in my head to be sure of their meaning. So tell me, Fuminori. Do you want to return to your old life? Do you want to take back what you lost in the accident? Oh god, no! Ah! I don't need it. On a terrible day when I first opened my eyes after the accident, what would my answer have been? When I think back on this many years from now, will I wish that my answer today had been different? It doesn't matter here at this moment, there is no doubt in my mind. Who was that? I asked Saya, looking at the unidentified piece of the monster. The man living next door, I don't know his name. Oh, so it was Mr. Suzumi. He was hardly a stranger. We've been neighbours for as long as I can remember. Go so far as to say we were on good terms before the accident. Now I've killed him with my own two hands. I feel little. Mr. Suzumi, the kindly painter who lived next door, but a distant memory. The pieces of meat around me belonged to the creature whose mere existence was nauseating. And by killing the vermin could I find release? He complained about my yard being filthy, the swine. Doesn't matter what Saya did, he wasn't worth keeping alive anyway. These are my honest feelings. My hands are wet with another man's blood, and yet I am utterly calm. Now I know what I lost in the accident. Saya says that I can take it back, but I know now that I cannot. It is gone forever, like the life of a man called Suzumi. Savage. Hey Saya, no doctor could possibly fix my condition, you know. Fuminori? You can do what no human is capable. You're not human, are you? Saya looks away, her expression unreadable. Everything is monstrous and loathsome in my eyes. Everything about Saya, I thought that she was somehow unique. I was wrong. I see her just as I do everything else as something other than what she really is. But why would that surprise me? Saya is part of my world, just as I am part of hers. It doesn't change what we were able to do to each other. I stand and walk over to Suzumi's dismembered corpse. I read this manga once, about a man who recovered from an accident, and found the world he could no longer see was there it was. Kinda like me. Finally realized that even though the stench of these monsters' flesh burns my stomach, their blood and guts smell pretty good. In fact, I know this fragrance quite well. He saw people as rocks, and robots as beautiful women. So he fell in love with something that wasn't remotely human. I retrieved the cleaver. Okay, that was a brutal noise. I retrieved the cleaver, pick up a piece of Suzumi's body, and start removing the skin and tendons. Just as I thought. Stuff underneath is exactly the same as what Saya and I have been eating. This looks pretty good. Let's eat it. Fuminori. Oh, sorry. You're in no mood for that now, are you? No, that's dead though. Meat is meat. It'd be a waste to throw it away. We should get it in the fridge. Is that alright with you? Sure, I answer easily. There's no longer any room for doubt in my mind. Also, his wife and daughter are probably next door. It might cause trouble when he doesn't get home. Better hunt them down before they go to the police. Is that what you really want? Saya asked again, this time with a trace of fear in her voice. I guess I still haven't convinced her of my sincerity. So at the end of this manga, the man who fell for something inhuman gives us his own humanity for the sake of their love. A happy ending, don't you think? Fuminori, you're all I need now, Saya. Nothing else matters as long as we're together. Tossing the knife and meat aside, I pull Saya into my arms once more. I can say it now, can't I? Saya, I love you. Saya wipes away the tears flowing from her eyes. I can no longer see any hint of fear in her face. I don't want you to regret this, I don't, but I've sworn my oath and Saya's accepted it. We have nothing to fear now. Saya will never need to cry again. I can't help it, I'm so happy. Guess I'm pretty selfish, aren't I? I don't mind. I'll always indulge your selfishness, Saya. Filled with contentment, we exchange a smile and set to task to clean the room. A single person produced a lot more meat than I expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something similar before. About his wife and daughter, I think he killed them. I heard their screams. Well, that makes things easier. After we finish here, we should go gather the meat from the Suzumi house. It should be enough to hold us for a while, and we can use their refrigerator to store what won't fit in ours. It's all coming together. Saya and I will be just fine. I think I recognize this picture. After we finish our labours and get into bed, I show Saya what I found in Ogai's house. Looks familiar. Yeah, I've definitely been there. Photograph that Saya selected is the one of the Tojigi prefecture address on the back. That's a house, right? I see trees and mountains. Yeah, wow, Fuminori. You can see pictures now? A little. The outside of my door, I had to depend entirely on what my sense of distance to decipher what I saw. Houses in front of me, the mountains far behind them. Clouds high above, only distance and scale told me what they were. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out. Recently, however, I've gotten better at understanding what things are by their shape. I know what the mountains and sky look like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from buildings. Each of the 3 pictures shows a similar scene, lone house in the middle of a thick forest. Dad called it his retreat, said that no one would find us there. Judging by the address on the back of each photo, they are probably excellent places to hide from prying eyes. But why 3? The dates are pretty old, and it seems odd that they're all taken within a few days of each other. Maybe he's scouting for properties, looking for the perfect location for his hideaway. Saya recognizes only one of the houses. That must be the one Ogai picked. Checking the location on a road map of the Kanto area, find out it's 3 hours out of Tokyo by car. Do you think your father will be there? I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. I don't think he's there. But he might have stopped by recently. The way I see it, I only hope of finding Ogai is to follow whatever lead we have, no matter how small. Probability that his hideout will yield useful information may be low, but it's not 0. I think I'll check this place out tomorrow. Do you have to? Isn't it far? It'll only take about half a day to go there. Check it out and come back. I have to stay home by myself while you're gone? So that's what it is. Slightly exasperated, I smile and rub Saya's head. Be a little patient, okay? And find your father too, don't you? For a brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher, Saya looks up at me and says, Hey, Fuminori. Let's forget about Dad. Huh? That's the last thing I expected her to say. Forget about him. But as your father, aren't you worried? Not anymore. I have you now. I call him Dad, but he's not really my father. Taught me a lot and probably loved me in his own way, but you're kinder and warmer. Saya's words make me happy, but I also hear the loneliness in them. Are you really alright with that? Yeah. You don't like it being just the 2 of us? I do. But I also want to meet Dr. Ogai. Finally figured out how to explain my feelings, I continue. Want to get to know you better. If there's someone who knows more about you than I do, I have to meet them. Oh. Saya doesn't seem upset, but she does tilt her head quizzically as though my thoughts seem strange to her. So I want to... yeah. I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Another plan is formed in my head, one separate from the search for Dr. Ogai. Find the doctor there, great. If I don't, well, I think I'll find another use for his mountain retreat. I know you'll be lonely, Saya. Try to bear it for a little while. Okay, she nods, then looks suspicious. Fuminori, you really want a family and friends, don't you? More people you can spend time with? Well, that would be more fun, yeah. Fearing that Saya will start sulking, I hurriedly add, don't get me wrong. Even if I could have lots of friends, you'll always be special to me. I know. Thanks. Giggling, Saya rubs her cheek against mine. Find something to make you happy. Something just for you.